Oh, yeah, the ship of brothers, yeah.
The Brothership.
Concordia.
So, in terms of, like, the Mario RPGs, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake is still king in terms of, like, the ones that are the best.
Yeah.
Brothership, I liked Brothership. It has issues. I don't call it a fantastic game. It's like a 7 for me, but I'll get into why.
Yep.
I'll tell you why. So, the first 4 hours, I want to say, roughly, are so slow. Like to the point where the first 4 hours are basically this. Oh, maybe not even 4. I would say the game doesn't even pick up getting good until the first 15.
Oh shit, that's a long time.
So, right, the way it works is the first 2 hours you don't even have a hammer attack.
Okay. Wow, that's iconic for Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, so you don't get your hammer until, like, I want to say after the first 2 hours, and you're fighting the same, like, 3 or so enemies for, like, the first 2 hours, which is not great. And it's just, there's a lot of, like, it feels like there's a lot of padding in this game, like a lot.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that it's very, very hand-holdy, like it's super hand-holdy.
I want to say, okay, the hand-holdy stuff was like the first, like, I want to say 4 hours. Like, but yeah, there is like a lot of like hand-holdy like things where you'll go into an area and you go into a new area and it's just like that pan shot where it stops for a second. It's just like a pan shot to show you like the environment or whatever, but then like, you know, your next goal sort of thing. It's like you gotta go over there sort of stuff. So it's like that in that way, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. My issue is that the battle system, while it's really good, it has the Sea of Stars problem where
things take forever to get to like the main meat.
Basically, alright, so the bros attacks in this game, they're cool. They're cool. They have these special attacks where you know, you do like they're basically like your magic moves, you know, like your specials, and you do like these mini games to attack and stuff.
Yeah.
They're great. There's just not enough of them. There are only. I mean, it's not really a big deal. It has the issue where there are not enough attacks to give the battle system enough variety in your moves.
Oh yeah, I had that a little bit with Sea of Stars where it was like you kind of just use the same moves a lot of the time and it takes a long while for you to get new ones.
Yeah, it takes ages.
That game.
Okay, so like the way they dole out these brother attacks, I feel like you get one like every like, I want to say like every like 10 hours. Like, wow, it's so...
That's long. That's a gap.
The game's long as well. I finished it. I beat the game like last week. And it's long. My gameplay clock time was like 48 hours.
Oh, shit.
I played it through to the end because the story was actually getting quite good and it actually did some cool shit. Story-wise, it actually has got a good story. I do like the themes of like connectivity, especially in today's day and age. Like the whole theme of this game is like connectivity and like how we're all isolated and like not connected to each other because
of a Mario game. That sounds like deep context for a Mario game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's.
That's
they could have explored it. They could have explored it a bit more, but yeah, it is a good theme. Like because this place called Concordia is like all these plugs and stuff, and they're like disconnected from it. The islands are disconnected from each other because they're all drifting, and your job is like to reconnect Concordia, like bring back the islands and connectivity. So you have like all these themes of like you have like one where it's like this fire and ice nation like hate each other and stuff. And there are some good themes in there. There's like some really good like deep themes, especially in 2025 where we're all on the internet and like, you know, don't really talk to each other in person anymore. Sort of thing.
That's deep subject matter. I didn't think Mario game would like do that. I thought that'd be more like a, you know, like some kind of like fucked up anime game or some shit would do that.
No, yeah. So and I mean, I could give away like the main villain in this isn't Bowser. Bowser is not the big bad. So I won't spoil like the big theme, the big bad, because I actually really liked like the new villain and shit. But the issue I have with it, the writing's not as strong with Paper Mario either. It's not got the same level of funniness that Paper Mario has.
Of wit.
Yeah. The issue's just like you're doing the same stuff too much, and it drags it down a bit. There is a lot of variety in terms of like the environments. There are loads of environments because you go to like loads of different islands.
Yeah.
The problem is you go back to the islands over and over again as well.
Oh, so there's backtracking.
There's a lot of backtracking, which I don't have. I mean, I don't mind backtracking, but it's just that it's just too much of it. There's a way too much stuff that slows down. Like, I just want to get on with it. Like, oh my god, there's this bit like close to the end where I thought I was at the end of the game, but then I had like another 10 hours to go because it sends you on this long fucking. It's not super long, but it is quite long. It takes about, I'd say, 6-7 hours. It sends you on this long mission it sends you on this long mission back to islands to talk to people to get a certain thing you need to get to the final place because you're being kicked out of it, sort of thing. And it's like, But yeah, and also like the attacks, yeah, you just, there's not enough variety of them. You basically end up doing your jump and hammer attack most of the way through the game. One of the things I will say in its favor that I loved, which made a little bit of variety, which was really cool, but you don't get it until you're like 15 hours into the game, is this thing called the spark plug system, which what it does is it changes your properties of certain moves, and like it's basically a badge system, but a bit interesting because the way it works is you could stack, say you have like a hammer attack, right? You've got a spark plug that you would get that has a fire property to it, so your hammer attack now becomes a fire hammer, which is really cool. And then you could get one that has an ice, and you could mix and match, and then you would have a fire and ice hammer, which is sick.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So the spark plug system's also cool because you can't keep spamming those attacks because you'll run out, and then they have to recharge. So then cool. You have to swap them out, and also it encourages combining more because you unlock more spark plug slots as you go through. Like you get, I think, a total of 5, and so you can have 5 different spark plugs attached at any one time eventually.
Oh, cool.
Which takes a while. So one of the cool ones that I really liked using was there's this dizzy plug that makes an enemy dizzy when you attack. But if you equip the dizzy plug with the fire plug, it adds a spin onto your attack that turns you into a flaming like fireball when you jump. So it does extra damage. So it's like really fun experimentation there, which is really cool with the experimentation. And there's like ones to do with like shielding yourself and stuff like that. And they all kind of like combo into each other, and you kind of learn the combos, which is the fun part of the battle system. Again, that doesn't unlock until like 15 hours into the game. But yeah, so it's not a bad game. It's got good points. It's just that I think it's way too padded out, and it's way too slow at doling out like the brothers' attacks. Story-wise, I'd give it like a good 7.5 in terms of like story, because it's got really, I like the themes. of connectivity and all of that.
Yeah, the theme sounds legit interesting.
Yeah, it is a good theme, the connectivity, and I like that they were all like, I like that it wasn't Mushroom Kingdom residents like the Toads and shit. It was actually like new characters because you're in this new land and they're all like spark plugs and, you know, electricity and connectivity. It makes a lot of sense, like clever, cute, like sort of thing, like. So yeah, that was really cool. The sailing is kind of just, in a way, it's a bit like dressing. It's not like Wind Waker levels of sailing. It's like you click a point on the map with the boat and then the boat slowly travels there, but you eventually get the ability to speed it up. So it's not too bad. But at the start, it's a bit of a slog because you can't...
The JoJo Part 1 kind of thing.
You can't, you can't speed up the boat so it goes at a set speed until you get the sail, and then it's like, oh my god.
Okay.
So it takes
you gotta work for your good content, pretty much.
It's got its good points, and like the spark plug system's really fun to experiment in battle, and also I like that you had to keep switching out your spark plugs because they died, and there are some really challenging boss fights, like closer towards the end. I died loads of times because the bosses were kicking my ass. Like certain points, it actually did challenge me, and it actually, you have to know the spark plug system by that point because you're like, shit, I have to do massive damage to these guys because they're actually, some of their attacks are really hard to avoid. Every enemy has a tail on attacks, but it eventually gets quite, well, not hard. It gets harder to like kind of work out what their tail is.
It's always good when a game reinforces a system by kicking your ass. Yeah,
and some of the side quests, there are side quests in this game. They're not great. They try to add, like, there are moments, they have these like side quests where it's like you have a red arrow pops up sort of thing. It says, hey, this quest is like an event quest for this character, it's gonna disappear soon, sort of thing. They have like sort of, if you progress further on in the game, so it kind of incentivizes you to do the quest because you don't want them to disappear and not be able to do them. But they're not great. They're more boiled down to like, go get this item or go kill this many enemies sort of thing. But they have some of them are cute, and they have little story ones that are payoff for characters, but that gives you more into a certain character. But then they're kind of just like the side quests. They're not important, I would say. I did them all because I'm like one of those weird people who are like, you know, I don't want the quest to disappear, I'll do it now, like sort of thing. But most of them boil down to just like killing certain enemies and talking to certain people. Okay. And they're not like exciting payoffs sort of thing. And you get like, sometimes you get a cool like glove accessory or hammer accessory. Yeah, that's about it really. I mean, it in terms of Mario and Luigi RPGs, it's kind of I still think Bowser Inside Story is the best one. That's still my favourite. Bowser's Inside Story, and I liked Partners in Time. Bowser's Inside Story and the original Superstar Saga and Partners in Time are still my favourites. This is like, I don't know, it fits in the middle of the scale. It's not terrible.
Your opinion sounds a lot like the common consensus of Brothership, to be honest, so you're not alone in that.
Yeah, it's not like the worst Mario and Luigi game. I still think that's Paper Jam. That was really bad. I didn't like Paper Jam. But it's not like amazing. It's like, oh, the art style's incredible, by the way. I'll give it points for art style. Well, the art style, absolutely fantastic. I love that art style. It's so like animated and lively. It looks really good. Like definitely, the art style is really good. And I'm hoping like this team, I think they can learn. They've definitely got potential. Like, this is their first ever Mario and Luigi game. I'm hoping they don't get bought out by Sony, because they are Acquire, and Acquire are under FromSoft. And so I am worried that this might be the only Mario and Luigi game they ever get to create. I kind of hope they get another crack at it, because I actually think they have potential. They just didn't quite hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll learn from this, and if they do another Mario and Luigi, they'll make it as good as possibly can, like any other.
Yeah, I mean, they know how to do RPGs. They made Octopath Traveler 2, so and definitely Octopath Traveler 2 was definitely better than Octopath. So like, if they have another crack at Mario and Luigi, I'm hoping they get to try again, because honestly, it'd be really a shame if they only get to do one Mario and Luigi, and then we have to wait like another 10 years for someone else to buy it. Get Mario and Luigi again. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, seems like Brothership definitely has kind of made like a impression, for better or worse.
Yeah. So, it's a middle ground. It's not terrible. It's not like god awful. It's like middle, you know.
It's not paying for the average, at least. Though,
no, it's like 7.5.
Yeah. Okay. No, pretty high score. Not bad. Cool.
Yeah. So what have you been playing? And then we'll go back to one other game that I have been playing.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. That's fine. We can alternate. Yeah. So Ben, I have after let me check my stream game time. After 110 hours played, I finally beat the re-release, the Atlus re-release of Persona 3.
Oh my god, 110 hours. That sounds about right. Yeah.
It's a Persona game. It's gonna be a long one, as you know. So, Persona 3 Reload. So, just to clarify, I have not played Fez nor OG Persona 3, but I know what happens in those games. I've seen enough videos on YouTube to know what happens in them and stuff. I have played Persona 3 Portable about 3 times I've beaten it. Yeah. So, my opinions will be obviously based off of that in terms of comparison, because this is a remaster, this is a re-release, so of course there will be the inevitable comparisons. And I've got a lot. I'm going to try my best not to be too much of a snob when it comes to artistic design, so I've got a lot to say about that. But as someone who loves Atlus games and is very passionate about them, I've got opinions and stuff, both good and bad at the same time about Persona 3 Reload. Yeah. So, Persona 3 Reload, this game is super accessible and the graphics are very good. It's a very modernized take on Persona 3. And, you know, we live in a post-Persona 5 world now, where obviously that's like Atlus's biggest hit ever. And a lot of games will be basing a lot of their stuff off of like Persona 5 and stuff. Yeah. For better as well as for worse as well at the same time. So let's talk about the atmosphere first, I guess, since this is a remaster. You know, graphics are obviously like a big one when it comes to like a re-release or whatnot, especially a modern one. Yeah. So you remember what Persona 3 looked like?
Yeah, I played the OG Persona 3.
It's really dark.
Yeah,
it's
dark.
really
It's really eerie. Even the town, like even the town. Like that you get to explore is kind of like, well, not towns, like hub, like you know, like
the city. It's the city.
Yeah,
the city.
Like, yeah. Even that is like eerie as well. It's very eerie. The whole game's very eerie. Yeah.
It still retains the eeriness in Reload. I would say though, so this is like a Silent Hill 2 moment, right? Where the drawbacks of the PS2 kind of made it a little bit more better and scary in atmosphere than it does with Persona 3 Reload. Yeah. Persona 3 Reload, so the Dark Hour, right? Yeah. Colors are like a big theme of the Persona games, right?
Yeah, green is the dark.
So people are thinking that Persona 6 is going to be green, right?
Yeah.
I'm convinced it's not going to be green because Persona 3 uses green a absolute metric fuckload. In the Dark Hour, the sky is like, I'm joking by the way. Yeah. The sky is like a really big oppressive green. Yeah. Compared to like the bit more greyish kind of like tones and the bit more muted in the original Persona 3. It kind of definitely gives the Dark Hour a bit more of like an alien vibe compared to like Persona 3, but Persona 3 had a bit more of like a greyish kind of like almost serene kind of like edge to it.
Yeah, like from what I remember, the sky was, I think the sky was green in Persona, the original Persona, like, because I remember the railway tracks boss.
It was nowhere near as oppressive as it was in there.
No.
So the Reload has got a lot of changes, and for better or worse, I would say. These are just my opinions, by the way.
So I can see it. Yeah.
So a really cool thing about Persona 3 Reloaded, what it's done is that so it's got some new voice actors, as you know. So you've no longer got your Michelle Roths and your Karen Strassmans, and yeah, it's been a long while, and which is fine because some of the returning voice actors are actually in this game.
Hey, that's cool.
But it feels like they've like passed down the mantle to these new voice actors because these new voice actors are really fucking good.
Yeah.
I would argue that some of them are actually better than the original ones, and that is a tall statement.
Yeah.
Yukari sounds better. Junpei is incredible in this game. The new voice actor for Junpei absolutely knocks it out of the park. No pun intended, because it's baseball. His goofy moments, he's just a fucking moron, as he should be. You know, he's a stupid young kid, but the dramatic times are absolutely gut-wrenching. The delivery is super good. Same for like Akihiko. Mitsuru's voice VA sounds almost exactly like her old voice actor. But like almost like an enhanced version. They're still iconic and fantastic voice actors in the OG, but it really does feel like the mantle from the originals have been passed over to these new guys. And they do an absolutely stellar job of it. They sound really, really good. Like, I mean, obviously Fuka's isn't exactly a higher bar with how dull she sounded.
Yeah, she was very dull, and I remember her voice actor.
I remember the voice
acting in that wasn't great for her. Yeah. I remember obviously she was kind of just like muted.
Massive improvement. Yeah, hers is a massive improvement. For obviously hers is way better.
Yeah.
And the social links are now all voiced now.
None of them were voiced in the.
None of them were voiced except for like the final ranks or like the rank ones for when you start.
When you start them, they're voiced. Yeah.
Every single rank is now.
That's cool. Which
is a great improvement because a lot of the times I felt like I would sometimes like this is just me personally. Sometimes I would drift because text box and I get unless I'm reading them out loud like we do in the LPs. Sometimes as I get older,
that's the best way to do a visual novel, right?
Yeah. As I get older, my retention for text has lowered, which is a bit of a scary thing. I don't know if that's to do with age or not. But when it's voice acted, I'm like immediately like focused because I'm listening to them. And it makes me greatly appreciate them a lot more. All the same S-links are still there. They all go through the same stories with a few changes here and there, which are better changes in my opinion. The S-links are fantastic. They're really good in this. The characters for C's, the voice acting is really, really good. They've definitely toned down a lot of like the things that are what's what I'm looking for? That are up for contention with a lot of the voice actors. Yukari, for example, is a massive one, especially for what she does in Fez and stuff. They toned down her bitchiness, quote unquote.
Oh, right, yeah.
She's now like a normal person, but honestly, like I didn't hate Yukari in the original Persona 3. I felt she had like reasonable and honestly interesting responses for like. Because her whole character was like, you know, she's got like huge fucking like parent issues, and she doesn't want to do things on her own and stuff, and she gets really arsey with you, and especially with Junpei back then. But honestly, like Junpei did some really dumb, stupid shit in the original that a lot of it was honestly deserved, in my opinion. A lot of it was warranted, especially early game Junpei. Holy fucking shit. She's definitely been toned down a lot, which is for better or worse because a lot of the stuff that made her has been taken away, honestly. But a lot of it is still like retained as well. Like she still gets angry for people are keeping secrets, so that's still there. I've not. By the way, I've not actually played the Aegis DLC for this because that's a fucking £20 battle pass shit, and fuck that. No, absolutely no Atlas. That's
the story there, you kind of know it already. So
I know it already. I don't really give a shit. And Akihiko is great. Shijiro's great. He says fuck in Reload, which is awesome. Ken has been toned down a lot as well. He still goes through his big arc with I won't go into spoilers for people.
No, don't spoil the game story.
But I feel like Ken is handled a lot better in this as well, which is really good. There's a lot to like about the Reload. I feel like the characters and story and the voice acting especially has been, well, I wouldn't say the characters have been enhanced, but they've been changed for, like, and you're either gonna like it or you're either gonna not like it. Me personally, I kind of like a lot of the changes what they've done.
Do you think they're gonna use these voice actors for Persona 6 as well then? Like these
They might do,
yeah.
They might do, and honestly, if they do, that's great. More power to them, because they're legit fantastic voice actors. They do a really damn good job.
Yeah, aren't most of them new? Like, most of them aren't.
A lot of them are new, yeah, which is
really
great.
Well-known,
like,
are they?
You're not just going with like the staple Atlus voice actors now. You're actually getting like a cast of new people, and kind of like with SMT5 as well, which is fantastic. And
yeah.
So it's great that Atlus are bringing in some new people for localization. It's great. It's more jobs for people. And
yeah.
It's, you know, it's for talent is budding, and they're legit really talented voice actors. I'm really happy about that. There's the more stuff you can do in Persona 3 as well. Like nighttime has been extended more as they usually do with re-releases for Persona 3. It's still pretty difficult to max out all the links, unlike the re-release for Persona 5. Like you've definitely got to like know what's going to happen in the future, and because I've not played Persona 3 in a long time.
Yeah, there's certain days where things happen and you can't just hang out with people. Month-long
waits where you legit just cannot hang out with certain people. And you're like, I'm locked to VS Links who are just hanging out in town, but I've done those already, so now I've got nothing to do on this day.
Yeah.
So foresight is still needed to do all VS Links, which I think is good, because I think the first playthroughs of Persona games, you just go for it, man. You can guide it if you want to do everything, but for me personally, it takes me out of it. So I just go for whatever and just do whatever, and you know, so on and so forth. So do you remember not really hanging out a lot with the male members of Season because they weren't official S-Links?
Yeah, no, you don't get to hang out with them. They actually weren't official S-Links,
They've now got hangout events with the male C's characters, but they're not S-Links, they're not tied to an Arcana, they're just kind of there.
Oh, that's cool.
So you do like whole day hangouts with like Junpei, Akihiko, and Ken, and you get some neat shit if you do that. There's incentive to hang out with them.
Oh,
Not
nice.
only do you get more stuff on their character while the events of the games are playing out, like a certain character being hospital, and like another character will comment about it more this time, instead of just like being completely put to the side and be like, well, that's your story over, bye bye, see you later, no more of that.
Oh, that's cool. So story wise, it seems like they make good strides into like,
it's optional, but the optional stuff is good when you go for it. And you also unlock stuff like more properties for the character you hung out with, 2 new personas that you can fuse too, so it is a good thing that you do hang out with the male members as well. And also some story things also change as well, like here and there. You get some neat shit. There's one character, oh fuck, it's not too much of a spoiler. So this character called Shinjiro. You remember Shinjiro?
Shinjiro. It's been years since I played Persona.
Big guy, long hair, big hat, coat, car veggie.
Oh yeah, he's a pie member.
He's a pie member, remember him? Yeah, he's got hangout events now, and his are really good. His stuff is really fleshed out, because with Shinjiro, you go back to like the past, back when he was an old member of C's with Mitsuru and Akihiko before you joining.
Cool,
and you get actual like artwork of them like exploring Tartarus and shit together, and I was like, this is great, this is awesome. Like, it's extended lore, which is always going to be a really good thing in these games that re-release. Extended lore is never a bad thing. Like, it's rare that people fuck up unless it completely like changes the character in their lore, which this doesn't. It's an extension, which is really good.
Nice.
So yeah, characters and extra stuff in Reload is really nice. It's very accessible and it's very fun to play still as well. The story is still really good. I'll say I prefer the atmosphere a lot more to in original Persona 3. That's just my artistic taste, so to speak. This is still a very pretty and very, very stylistic game. The gameplay... Okay, so this is where my opinion will probably differ from a lot of people, but I'm just gonna say it for everyone, especially for those in the back. I actually prefer the gameplay in original Persona 3.
I think a lot of people have said this as well.
I've got a lot of reasons why. It's still fun and serviceable gameplay, but oh man, this game is piss easy.
I've heard that complaint as well.
I played it on Merciless, by the way, the hardest one. The hardest boss is the High Priestess on the train, just because you've got that timer going on before you beat her.
yeah.
And you're locked to 3 members.
Wasn't she like the first boss as well?
She was the first boss. She's the first Moon Shadow you got to fight. She is difficult.
Yeah.
She's difficult as she was in the original. And I was like, oh, yeah, great. This is awesome. I'm getting my ass whooped.
You're going to get into a challenge and then it just
having to think about this. Yeah. And, but as soon as you get your 4th Pi member and certain other game mechanics that actually were not in Persona 3 were unlocked, the game sadly becomes a huge cakewalk. And this is because of a combination of a lot of things that Reload does. So, first and foremost, the fatigue system has been completely removed.
See, now that's bad in my eyes, because I feel like that was actually part of Persona 3's identity.
Oh, yeah?
Like, the fatigue system was what made you more, like, think about who you're taking into battle, because they get tired and they can't go in the next day and stuff. It was like, it was kind of like a strategic kind of thing. It's like, oh, I've got to plan ahead sort of thing. Yeah,
that's a good reason as to why it's sad that it's gone. Another good reason is, of course, now you can, like, you know, it's more accessible. You can take whoever you want in. So, you know, you go through a dungeon run, a Tartarus run, and they run out of SP, which you never will do, by the way. And then you can just bring out tag another Pi member to bring them in. Second, shuffle time is OP. So, the way shuffle time works is that if you kill a mob with an all-out attack, or you just get lucky, shuffle time is a thing. You get to choose your card, and you get to choose whether you get more money at the fight, or whenever you get, like, more SP at the end, or you get a Persona card, or whatever the hell, right? Face cards are a new thing that have been implemented. No, I think face cards were a thing in the original.
I think they were in the original face cards. Let me double check. I'll just double check because it's been ages since I played Persona 3.
These cards are insane, right? So you get these cards and they do things like, oh my god. In the late game, you can get cards that allow you to fuse personas 5 levels above you.
Wow.
You can get ones that basically allow you to choose 2 cards at the same time. You can get ones that fully upgrade your SP and HP. You can get things that give you charge effects at the beginning of the next battle. And if you get all face cards, you get a thing called I think it's called Arcana Time, where all the money and all the experience that you get that you choose to get at the end of the battle are increased. This combined with the no fatigue mechanic means that you are actually rewarded for staying in Tartarus for longer sessions than you are for staying.
That completely goes against the ethos of how
this means that grinding is incredibly easy and incredibly abusive, because with the shuffle time system in your pocket, you can just stay in Tartarus forever.
Yeah.
In the early game, it's harder, but mid game and late game, you can stay in there forever, and you can go from like level 50 to level 80. Like it's.
Oh no, that sucks.
It's with minimal effort. Which isn't a good thing in my opinion. It's good if you're like, you know, just it depends really. It's more accessible and it's way easier than Persona 3 original, definitely.
Persona 3 original, you don't even get to control your party.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, obviously, you can choose whether to do that or not in Persona 3 Reload, so you can have that, like, choice.
But that also actually...
But the AI is dumb in Reload, whereas in the original Persona 3, they made slightly more smart decisions based on, like, what you told them to do, so... I've heard it's not exactly a good swap, sadly, to go to AI controlled in Reload.
Yeah, because in the original Persona 3... I thought that not controlling your party actually made a lot of sense with the story as well. It kind of fit in with the themes of the story. Whereas, obviously I don't like not controlling my party, but I didn't have an issue with it with Persona 3. I kind of just thought that's how the game worked, and that's like to do with like...
Old school, mate. We just had to go with that, right?
Yeah.
It was just the way it was. We had no complaints.
I think controlling your party, I think you could control... I think they did change that in FES. I think you could control your party in FES. I'm not entirely sure, actually, on that one. I don't remember. Actually, I don't think you could. No.
I don't think you could. I think
Persona 4 was when they introduced that you could actually control your party.
Yeah, it was introduced in Persona 4, and you could do that in the re-release for the PSP. You can direct control your party members.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing is that the way skill cards are handled. So you remember skill cards, Ben?
Yeah, I remember
them.
Yeah, random card at the end of the battles. Yeah.
So you can duplicate cards in Persona 5. You know, you go to Yusuke and he's like, okay, give me a bit, and I'll give you like your duplicate of your card. Days pass, and it was like, yeah, no, that's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
In this, you go to the shrine and you get a duplicate of a card immediately.
Oh my god.
And it's for free.
Oh my god.
It may as well be for free.
And this is merciless mode as well.
This is merciless mode.
Oh wow.
And you can absolutely supersize your personas thanks to this. The skill card system is completely unbalanced. And number 4, melee is king. It's world of strength because you will get crits up the wazoo thanks to all your skill cards with at pupil. And increased critical hit shots. Junpei is a motherfucking powerhouse in this game. He is your go-to melee man. He gets moves that actually increase his critical rate, especially if you hang out with the guy. And he's all you need. That man can legit solo the game. It's actually kind of insane. You can just throw out a deathbound, get an easy crit, just do one more, and then just bam, that's it. The fights are done and dusted, as it says at the end of the all-out attacks.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's a one more system as well means that you can just spam and spam and spam it, and like magic is decent for getting weaknesses, but it is left behind in the dust by physical skills. And this game also has baton pass. It's nowhere near as powerful as it is in Persona 5, admittedly.
Oh god, yeah, Persona 5 like, Reload, it was broken. Royal, it was busted.
In Royal, it was crazy.
It was busted.
And in Royal, if you start with your MC and you get a magic weakness, you just baton pass a Junpei and then just unload with your physical skills, and that's it. Fuka, number 5. Okay, do you know what? Let's lump these all together in one category. So, Persona 3 Reload has a new thing called Theurgy skills. Now, do you remember the show times in Persona 5?
Yeah. Those, like, quick inverts. They weren't really broken, but they were strong, but they weren't too bad.
They came up at random times, right?
Yeah, so they weren't that too bad. Intrusive. Yeah.
So, Theurgies are basically controlled versions of Showtime, and therefore each character. So, the way they work, right? So, they're basically special attacks, right?
Yeah.
So you do like a wind skill that pierces. So piercing skills are now a thing within these Theurgy moves, which means you can just unload with these things and not get punished for it at all.
No.
So there might be pierce to wind skills, pierce to like physical skills of a higher crit rate, yada yada yada. These things get nuts as they go on.
Yeah.
Each character, the way they charge their Theurgy gauge is different. So Yukari, for example, has to heal in order for her Theurgy gauge to go up. Junpei needs to land critical hits. Akihiko's got to buff himself. Mitsuru's got to land status elements.
Right.
Some of these are just like fucking redonk though, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's to the point where Theurgy skills are. It feels like the way the game is. They feel like the win buttons sometimes, man. And a lot of the game kind of revolves, or a lot of the harder fights revolve around you incentivizing Theurgies to win. It feels like sometimes an enemy is so like, well, mobs are just easy. You just throw crits at them. Even with boss fights, sometimes you just throw out a crit skill and do that. But there are Theurgy skills that legit crit and will literally like erase like 3/4 or even like one shot some boss from some dungeon bosses. And this is merciless mode, by the way.
Yeah.
So like,
God
there are
forbid
some,
you played this on normal.
and these all pierce as well. That's the thing, that they're pierce skills.
Yeah.
So you just throw them out, and it's like, yeah, I've just won the fight, easy as. A lot of they're very abusable as well. They're really cool special attacks. But they made the game an absolute breeze, mate.
So it sounds like they haven't taken in balance at all into this.
There is one skill that excuse me, that Ken has, where he gets his Theurgy skill. The way he gets it really quickly is that his SP has to be below by half, which is easy to do because he blows for SP. And he has a move which will do a whole heal and a revive and an all-party Tetracon, and an all-party Macaracon in one fucking skill.
Oh my god.
In one fucking skill.
Oh my god. So it's really busted then. Like, the
and
whole...
he's just a god. He's a fucking golden shiny god. And not only that, but the MC gets Fuji skills. And do you remember how fusion skills worked in Persona 3?
Yeah.
Where you needed specific personas to do a special move. Like you needed like Pyro Jack and Jack Frost to do or Jack Bros move and stuff. Not in this game. You just need to have them in a compendium, and you can throw out their moves whenever you want.
What?
And the Fuji skills. Yeah. So you no longer have to think about what personas you have in your pie to do specific special skills. You can just have them compendium and just throw them out whenever. And they're pretty insane. This includes Armageddon, by the way.
Oh my god.
You know the move that does 9999 damage to everyone? Yeah, as long as you've got Lucifer and Satan in your compendium, you can just fucking throw that shit out. And the thing is that you just lose all your you go down to 1 HP and 1 SP, but with the dungeon mechanics, it's so fucking easy to just get it back. To
abuse it, yeah.
It's so fucking
I do have a question though, Joe, because you're going on about a battle system, but I actually want to know, because my biggest issue with Persona 3 was I got so fucking bored in Tartarus because it was just hallway, just random hallway. Have they fixed that? Is it more...
It's a little bit less like that. It's still randomly generated floors like OG Persona 3. Yeah. But thanks to the graphics, it's a lot more nicer to look at.
Oh,
okay. It's not as boring go through Tartarus. There's a lot of more like random things that happen on floors now. So like obviously there are chest floors, there are floors with like threatening shadows.
Okay, so each floor has a different random event. There was a tiny little bit of that in Persona 3 original, but not
there's more of it in Reload though, admittedly. There are some shadows who like, you know, they move around the dungeon and shit.
Yeah.
Some of their movements change depending on whether they've got like status elements. They sometimes start off fights with status elements, like if one's enraged, for example, they'll just shoot at you in straight lines. Whereas ones that are confused will do just that. They'll be more erratic and move around and stuff. However, mate, as soon as you get them from behind, you just go for... Oh my god, I forgot to mention about ambushes. Yeah. So later on, you get these like on-field skills where you will just get ambushes easy, non-stop. And... later on you'll get a move where if you get an ambush, enemies will be I can't remember what the status element is, but it's the element they get where they're more susceptible to critical hits.
Is this when you get like their weakness?
You hit from behind.
You get all their weaknesses, and
you
then
hit from
you get
behind. You get the ambush. You get it's going down that place, which is a great track, by the way. It's no mass destruction, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
Disturbing the peace. Oh my god, I've got a song just fucking engraved its head into my brain like a worm.
Yeah.
But there are some passive skills that you get on ambushes where if you get an ambush, enemies will be fatigued, I think it is, which means they're more susceptible to critical hits, which means more enabling of physical skills.
Oh my god.
There are moves where you get like a special attack on field where you have to dash for a long period of time.
The way you're describing this, it sounds
and then you
like
get hit.
This sounds
and
like...
And if you hit a shadow from the front with this move, it's a guaranteed ambush. So you no longer need to go behind a shadow in order to get an ambush. And again, you can just rinse through mob fights.
Mate, the way you're describing this sounds like they literally put out 100 mechanics into these battles. And
you're OP. You're OP.
And just see, like, they were like, oh, we don't care about balancing. Like, people don't care about balancing or difficulty. Let's just throw 100 mechanics up the wall and see, like, what sticks.
The thing is that they're trying to make it more fancier. Like, you know, the animated cutscenes with, like, special powers and the Furies and shit.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it looks stylistic, and they do admittedly look really cool. But we do live in a post-Persona 5 world, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
Right? It's just... Sadly, for me, by the time I got to, like, the third to last dungeon, my brain was, like, having an aneurysm because I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, no challenge.
I was thinking. Yeah. I wasn't strategizing at all, and sadly, that made the game very repetitive.
Yeah,
in terms of gameplay.
And I can completely understand that because
which sucks. It really sucks because one more it makes the one more system repetitive.
Yeah.
And that sucks because one more is kind of like a really cool revolutionary thing for turn-based RPGs.
Yeah.
It honestly made me realize how spoiled we were to have press turn in SMT5.
Yeah.
Or SMT general from 3 to 4 to Metaphor to Digital Devil Saga. It really made me realize how much of a superior system press turn is to one more. One more is great and all, but when it's in a game like Persona 3 Reloaded where you just have all the means to just blaze through everything, it makes the system really repetitive. Doesn't help that's the same battle track non-stop all the time. Don't get me wrong, it's a good soundtrack, but fuck me. Disturbing the peace, look into my arse. If I hear that lyric one more fucking time, and you only, you know how it is, Lotus Juice English and all that shit.
Always mishear it.
I'll always mishear it. It's a banger. It ain't no mass destruction, but they do the golden route again, where if you get the ambush, you get that track.
Yeah.
But if you don't get the ambush, you get mass destruction. But you'll never be ambushed because you have so many tools.
Because you always have so many things. Man, that's honestly, this is such a disappointment to hear how easy it is because
that combined with no fatigue system, the OP shuffle time, the Theurgies that blaze through things, Junpei the god of crits, and just all the it's just it's so easy. It's such an easy game. You just blaze through it. But the story is still good. It's still a great game. It's great. It's great accessibility for newbies.
Yeah.
It's still a really fancy, cool, neat, shiny looking game. Sadly though, mate, I still don't think it's the definitive Persona 3. We still have not got a definitive version of Persona 3.
No, you don't have the female, right?
By the way, guys, this is just all my opinions, by the way. I know a lot of you really like Persona, you like the Reload version, so I've heard. And I still stand by my opinion that Persona 1 and 2 deserve the treatment more. Not saying that this game didn't deserve it, but I thought Persona 1 and 2 deserved it a lot more. In my humble opinion. Feel free to debate with me in the comments. Give me a healthy debate in the comments, because I like having debates about this thing, because I like Atlus games a lot.
This isn't even the definitive version of Persona 3.
It's absolutely not the definitive version of Persona 3. Not at all. No fucking way. Absolutely not it is. And this is more of a nitpick more than anything, because this is an artistic nitpick of mine. But oh man, oh my god, man, they've replaced a lot of the really cool iconic 2D cutscenes with 3D cutscenes.
Oh yeah.
And you remember the iconic awakening?
Yeah, the cool one at the start. Yeah, the main character one. Yeah,
and then Thanatos rips apart the first shadow.
Yeah.
It's sadly with 3D models.
Oh no.
And it's nowhere near as cool as it is.
Wait, you're saying they cut the 2D animated scenes where
they're in there, but they're not for pivotal cutscenes at all.
What? They made new ones.
They made new ones, but they're 3D ones. They're using 3D models in game shit and whatnot for pivotal cutscenes. Sometimes it is, sometimes they're not. It's actually really confusing and a little bit.
Wait, you know the one where you so you know when you start the game, you're on the train and then you're sitting. I believe you're sitting on the train and then
yes.
Yeah, is that one hand-drawn? Is that one still the 2D?
Yukari's in the kitchen doing her really shocking thing for the first time, right?
Yeah. Is that one?
That's 2D. That one's 2D.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But they're very modernized 2D ones, and it's not the same style as it was back in the crusty PS2 days, obviously. Yeah. And it's obviously the cutscenes are going to be worked and they're going to be better. They're not going to be able to honestly recapture and retain that style, which is fine. But do new 2D cutscenes, whatever. Yeah. But it's just that a lot of them are 3D now, and a lot of really major ones that were really cool in the 2D ones are now being replaced with these, and they really don't hit as hard as they do in the old ones. In my opinion, sadly, they really don't.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's weird because it's a remake, but it's kind of trying to be its own thing a lot as well.
Yeah,
Like, it honestly
isn't
feels
that what a
more like-
remake's meant to be, though? Right? Like it went down. Did it go down? Are you saying it went down the Final Fantasy VII remake route in the sense that it's like not Final Fantasy VII remake?
I mean, it's like the thing is that it feels like it's trying to be. It's not trying to be its own thing egregiously, like FF7 is. Obviously, FF7 remake is like, yo, we've shown you from the start that this is gonna deviate.
Yeah,
this is really gonna deviate hard. So
yeah,
obviously it's like, oh, okay, you're gonna do things that aren't gonna be completely true to the original.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They've made that clear, which is fine. Like it's intensely different. And they show that in an intense way as well. Whereas like Persona 3 Reload is like the thing that what it tells me it's trying to do is that it is trying to be a faithful remaster of Persona 3, but it's sprinkling in like quality of life stuff and doling it up a lot more. But it's doing it to its detriment. If that makes any sense.
Sometimes this is a good argument of sometimes less is more. You know.
A little bit, yeah.
It sounds like there's way too many systems in
Persona 3 OG ain't a walk in the park. It absolutely
no, it's not. It's quite hard.
No, you have to lock in for that game. It'll catch you sleeping. Whereas Persona 3, you can just throw out any old shit. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm just blazing through and getting crits and one wars and just disturbing the piss, look into my ass and just keep going.
Oh, that's a shame.
There's the OP Theurgy skill, and oh my god, speaking of Theurgy skills, Fuku Navigator is also busted, and she's constantly in your team. She can do party-wide luster candies. She can refill your entire party's SP, which completely eliminates spending Twilight Fragments, which is a new currency which you use to refill your SP and open up chests and stuff.
See, that's what I mean. It just sounds like they just stacked systems upon systems and didn't think about how these systems
they stacked on too many, in my opinion. If they have just like toned it down a bit, then maybe it would have been a bit more better. But they put in so many like systems on top of each other that it's kind of like it's honestly taken away its identity from the original Persona 3. It feels like this feels really weird to say. It kind of feels like a fucking sequel.
I get that. And
I don't mean in terms of story. I mean in like in terms of gameplay. It feels like that. It's a real weird thing to say, and it's hard to describe. Because it's still the same story with a few like quality of life changes, which is fine. Like the story is still good to me. Like, you know, it's still you still feel things to the characters. Obviously, all the game's themes are still as subtle as a brick to the face, but they're still good themes.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would argue is that art direction takes you out of like the dark vibe a little bit, as well as like the removal of cutscenes here and there. But again, this is just my own artistic opinion, some of you, because it's art and art is very subjective. You might prefer it more, which is completely fine. Me personally, I definitely prefer the vibe and art direction in the OG Persona 3. I just prefer OG Persona 3, man. Reload's okay, but I was kind of ready for it to be over by the time I got to the second to last dungeon.
Which is not a great...
it made me skim for a lot of things because I could. The game just let me do it, and this is on the hardest difficulty. So like
maybe they should have locked off these systems on the hardest difficulty. That's what they probably should.
Yeah, by the way, mate, Persona 3 doesn't have the Persona 5 thing either, where if you get weaknesses and crits, you hit harder. Same for the enemies, they just make it harder. But it's still really easy, and like, it's great for. I don't want to say casual gamers in a bad light, because it's not a bad thing.
It's good for the person's first Persona game.
It's great if you just want to play a JRPG.
Yeah.
Just get through it. If you're like a casual gamer who doesn't have a lot of time on their hands, I mean, this game is still really fucking long.
A lot of time. I mean, it's 110 hours you spent on it, and you didn't.
But man, I've been playing 3 Atlus games at the same time, right? Persona 3 Reload, Metaphor Review, and an arseload of SMT5 Vengeance. And playing Persona 3 made me want to play those games. It was sadly the worst entry that I played out of the 3. It's not a bad game. I give it a slight 7 out of 10.
Again, another like 7.5 sort of situation.
Yeah. It does a lot of things that do improve. The S-Links are way better. The characters and the voice acting are really fucking good. There's extended lore. It's still, there's some great things they've added to it, but the gameplay just doesn't compare to how it was.
Bet you're glad we didn't play this one on the channel.
Yeah, it doesn't integrate well. Oh, I'm so glad we didn't play this on the channel, mate. Holy shit. it doesn't integrate itself well with like the theme of the game, in my opinion, with the gameplay. It's what Persona 3 really did, and it doesn't have to. The gameplay doesn't have to, like, you know, integrate well with the story of the game and complement it. It doesn't have to.
But it doesn't have to be a
OG Persona 3 did that. OG Persona 3 did that, and this is a remaster of that game, so the comparisons are they've got to be made. Sadly, I'm sorry to say, but that's how I feel overall on Persona 3 Reloaded. I won't be going back to it, and I'm not going to play Episode Argus.
No.
Not only am I just burned out with Persona 3 Reload, I do not want to pay Atlus 20, 30 quid for a fucking pass with all those dumb, stupid Persona 5 costumes and OP personas, which you don't even need because the game's a cakewalk anyway, just so I play Episode Argus, which, again, is another point of contention from what I've heard. I've heard that it hasn't really made a lot of improvements from...
Oh my god, that was the part that people
from the criticisms
didn't, like,
that it had
with FES, that was the bit that people thought would be the most improved. Like, the
FES was super mixed, wasn't it, with that last episode, with the answer and shit.
Yeah, I thought they would rework that a bit, because everyone hated that in FES.
I've heard that they haven't made it even any better from what I've heard, and honestly, I'm sadly gonna have to take their words to seriously.
Well, that sucks,
because
dude.
I don't want to pay a fuckload just for all that stupid useless shit that comes with it. For something that was already a thing for free in Fez. Atlus have not got great business practices.
Nah, not at the moment.
Not at the moment, sadly. They're making improvements here and there. They know how to do a good, re-release, because they fucking knocked out the park with vengeance. They did a really good job of that. And you know what? It scares me to say that, because I don't want more re-releases, man.
Yeah.
We've peaked with Vengeance. We absolutely have. Vengeance is a fucking incredible re-release, because it does what it sets out to do. It has everything that the original SMT5 has, and it has all these improvements made on the new route. And it's just, it's on all platforms. There's way more new content. There's like 60 new battle tracks. Persona 3 has like, what, 7 battle tracks? Persona 3 Reload, whatever. I'm so sick of hearing it's going down. I'm so sick. I can't stop hearing it because it's so easy to get an ambush.
That will be Joe's opinion on that. Let's
that's my rant.
Let's move on from Persona 3.
Please, I'm already getting burned out just talking about it.
Let's talk about an indie game that I've been playing.
Hey, that's good, Ben. What do you got?
So I've been playing, Big Mode, the company that Donkey's
oh yes, that's right. Yeah, they made
publisher.
a new game.
He's 2 for 2 now. I'll just say that.
Oh shit!
Star of Providence is a really, really fun game, and it's really good on handheld mode as well. But basically,
it's a bullet hell game.
Yeah, it's really fun. So what it is,
I never imagined you playing a bullet hell, Ben.
It's really unique, right? So it's a roguelite bullet hell game where you kind of you're this little ship. You go into this factory and you're going down the floors, kind of like Binding of Isaac in that sense, Yeah. You go, but what makes it stand out from other bullet hell games is the way it works. When you enter a room, there's this thing called, it's a mechanic in the game. I thought it was just at first I just thought, oh, that's weird. Maybe it's a thing to do with the Switch loading screen or something, the game not loading. No, it's actually a legit mechanic of the game, and it's there's this thing that it does. When you go into a room, it kind of loads up the room, but it's intentional because you can still move around and see the enemies, right? Yeah. But it's you're kind of at that point. It's not long. It's like a 2-second thing sometimes, but there's a perk you can get that makes it longer, which is great because it's called stasis. Basically, what it is when you walk, because the way you go into these rooms, right? They're really small rooms. They're locked off rooms, and then the bullets start flying once the enemies wake up. But you get this sort of moment to prepare yourself for it. Which is, and you can shoot them as well while they're asleep, so you can kill one quickly. It's kind of the idea, and it's a bit adds a bit of strategy to it. And I love it. It's such an intense game because you're in all the rooms are these closed off like instead of like, you know, like most bullet hell games are like a line, like, you know, vertical shooters sort of thing. This is like you move around, you're like dodging the bullets in these really closed off like rooms, and there's like loads of like different secrets, and you get like different weapons, and there's little bits of lore here and there for the story as well, as you like you talk to like there's certain characters you interact, not like a lot, it's like mostly gameplay, but there's like characters that give you like story and stuff. It's a really good game, and the music is so good. Man, the music in this game is banging. Like,
what kind of music is it?
I don't know. It's kind of like you can listen to the soundtrack yourself on YouTube, but it's really upbeat, and like there's a lot of like bangers in there, and like it really sticks, like earwormy stuff, and
nice.
It's really good. And the boss fights, man, the boss fights in this are so cool as well. Learning their patterns, like there's a lot of them as well. And each floor has multiple different ones. Like sometimes, like because it's obviously a roguelite, you don't fight the same boss on each floor. Like again and again, it might be a different boss.
It's a roguelike bullet hell, is it?
Yeah, it's a roguelike where you move around. You move like so you clear a room. Like it's like rooms. You go like rooms, and you got like. Like you know, like how I don't know, Hades sort of thing with the whole like moving from room to room.
I'm watching some footage of it right now. It looks very like,
it's really good. Honestly,
I'm sorry, I'm a bit mesmerised by it, actually. Like, there's a lot going on with it.
Yeah, it's really fun, man. Honestly, it's such a fun game, and the weapons you get.
To hurt my eyes, but this seems like
it's really. I think the fact that it's closed off makes it more easier to focus on like where your ship is and like all the bullets flying and stuff.
It feels focused, yeah. The fact that it feels more enclosed, like you said, and and the graphics are really like it's like got this like really I don't know. I've never played Hollow Knight, but people compare the graphics to like Hollow Knight. Really?
Sorry, not Hollow Knight. Sorry,
I was gonna say.
Well, not Hollow Knight. I played Hollow Knight. Sorry, I mean what's it called? Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've never played Shovel Knight, but people compare the graphics to like a Shovel Knight-esque kind of graphics, which I could totally see because I've seen the graphics of Shovel Knight, but not Hollow Knight. I love Hollow Knight. But yeah, Star of Providence, like, it's so addictive. Like you just and you keep unlocking stuff on runs as well. You go for a run and then you get like new stuff in the shops. They're permanent like buffs you can get as well, and there's like new weapons and stuff. It constantly get things, and then you're like, another run, I'm getting better.
The roguelike special, absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those addictive ones. It's really, really good. Like, I've made it to like floor 4 now, and it's funny because the first 3 floors, like there's this character you talk to at the start of all your runs and stuff, and like he's like, the first 3 floors, those are like, get your grips, and then like floor 4, and it's like, oh shit, this is where it gets real.
Oh fuck. Nice.
Yeah, but it has a really good. It also has a really good curve. Like the difficulty curve is so good for this game because like the first floor is not too difficult, and then like it really like it gives you like a good curve, and then obviously as you go through more runs it gets harder because you're unlocking more stuff and more things, and you can turn off some of that stuff as well if you want. So yeah, no, honestly, Star of Providence, Donkey's publishing studio, where he said he would only publish good games. This game was made by, I believe this game was made by like one person. I could be wrong on that. It's not a very big team, I know that for a fact. It was Team D13 or whatever. It's a really small team that made this game, but man, this game's so good. Like, I don't know how long it took them to make it, but yeah, Donkey's now 2 for 2 on his published games. Animal World and now this. I look forward to what Donkey publishes next, because he's got an eye for these little indie games that aren't getting like, spotlight, and then publishing them and suddenly they like blow up. Like, yeah, he's nailing it with these so far.
Yeah, good track record so far, definitely.
If he can make it free for free, we'll see.
Yeah, devs are doing a pretty great job, and Yeah, I've wishlisted that, by the way, because it sounds like a cool game that I'd probably get behind.
You would probably really like it. It's honestly really addictive.
Oh man, cool, nice one, man. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. It's really good on Switch as well, because the other thing that it does really well, because if you play it on handheld mode, you know, because it's closed off, it's like 4x3 or whatever screenage size. You're really focused in on like the center of the screen. So it's really good for handheld mode, so it actually works. Oh, and it also runs at a flawless 60 on Switch for some reason, which is insane. Cool. I was shocked. I was shocked that it ran at such a good, you know, because the Switch is getting old and getting on, and there's a lot going on in this game, and I was surprised that the Switch was able to, you know, without any slowdowns. I have to say, this game has not had a single slowdown on Switch.
That's good.
So yeah,
because like, there are still some sprite-based games that slow it down, like Crosscode and stuff. And
yeah. Crosscode has slowdowns on Switch, and yeah, this game runs flawlessly on Switch, which is a feat in its own, I have to say. So good on the devs for getting this to run like really optimized on the Switch. So
yeah, well done. Good job on that, guys. Well done. Yeah, wishlisted. Interested. Yeah,
really fun. Really fun bullet. I'm not like, you know, I've never really been one for bullet hell, so this is like a really fun bullet hell. Yeah.
I hope my eyes went strange during it, because bullet hell was always scare my eyeballs. To
yeah,
the point where
like I'm not. It's not too bad because of the whole like being locked off in a small room, but yeah, it's actually all right in that sense. It really
specs on for it.
Yeah. It works. It works.
I have played an indie game, and also Ben. In fact, I've been streaming an indie game, and this has been a really nice, rare little gem that everyone in my Discord has been begging me to play. And you know, my people in the Discord, they always pick the correct games for me to stream. Yeah. This is yet another banger. So good job, ladies and gents. This is a game called Nine Souls.
Oh, I've heard of this.
It is
the cat one.
So yes, the kitty cat one. Yeah. Yes, it's way more than a kitty cat game, though, mate. There is a lot in this game that will. Definitely just make you think different of what you just see from like screenshots and shit, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So this game is like, it's a metroidvania, right? It's a sci-fi based metroidvania. It is done by, I think they're called Red Candle Games.
Alright.
All I'll say to clue you in on this game in terms of like vibe and feel is that they worked on a psychological horror video game called Detention.
I've heard of that, and that's actually, I've heard of that game. I've never played it, but I've heard of it.
Apparently it's super scary. There's a lot of like weird, it's psychological as well. Yeah. And they went and made a parry Sekiro-like.
That's so strange. How do you go from that to that? That's hilarious.
So the vibe for this game is really cool, because it's like, so they've called it Tau Punk. Because it's done by a Japanese, a Chinese, Taiwanese, actually, video game development studio.
Okay, Red Candle,
And it's like, it's sci-fi, but also has like this Chinese Tao like mystical sense to it as well.
Nice, that's an interesting combination.
And this game has got an intro to it. It throws a curveball at you immediately. I won't go into too much of the nitty-gritty deets, but there's a lot of body horror in this game.
Oh, wow.
And this game doesn't... And despite its, like, cutesy kind of, like, front cover... this game does not shy away from violence at all.
Oh, nice.
Like, there are characters coughing up blood, being dismembered. Nice. You see guts, you see gore... You see, like, these horrible, like, background events as you navigate your way through the 2D space. It's all hand-drawn, by the way, so it looks really stylistic.
Oh, damn.
You see body bags, you see experiments, you see tortures, you see, like, these unsanitary machines, like, grinding into, like, these meat. It's fucking visceral as hell. And it complements the gameplay because, oh my fucking Christ, this game will kick your ass.
Oh, nice.
So, the way it works in gameplay is that you have you start off with a 3-hit combo, but the main meat of the game is the parry.
Right, okay.
The way it works is that if you parry, you block damage. However, you take internal damage.
Oh.
And when you take internal damage, like, it's kind of like the rally system in Bloodborne, where you lose a little bit of red, but then it'll regenerate back to full health over time, like you've not taken damage. However, this won't matter much because the enemies are really relentless, and each one has their own download bar.
Oh my gosh.
And you can get perfect parries in this as well. And oh my god, you know I like my parry-based games, right?
Yeah.
So when you get the perfect parry, you hear a really satisfying like Chinese gong sound, like a
Oh, nice.
And when you get the perfect parry, you take no damage whatsoever, obviously. However, when you do parry or imperfect parry, you get these things. You get this energy called chi.
Yeah.
And when you get enough chi from parries, you do this like instant dash move where like you'll go through the enemy and hit them with a tag, and it'll blow up and kill them. So it's kind of like a counter move, kind of, but
nice.
it's a counter move that you can put in your stock and use whenever you want after you get parries. So like, it's man, there's a skill tree as well where you can get a pogo off of enemies. There's one where you get a dash and a strong attack charge.
Actually, this is really cool. Yeah.
You can get different builds as well. There's so similar to Hollow Knight, there's an accessory system called the Jade system, and you can upgrade. So you can upgrade the limit of it as well, so you can get more in. So like you can have a build where you can regenerate HP from getting the talisman on enemies. You can have one where you can just get more money if you kill an enemy. You can have bow and arrows, which are like special attacks, which have more damage. You can have one where you can heal quicker. You can have one where you do a bit more damage from behind. There are skill trees too as well, where you get passives.
Yeah, that's really good actually. I'm looking
you can go for different. It's like the potential for different builds in this game is actually insane.
Is it Metroidvania?
It's Metroidvania, yeah.
I thought so. It looks like a Metroidvania.
It's very much Metroidvania. Like it's kind of like it does what Hollow Knight does, where it's not ripping off too much from like a Souls or Metroidvania. It does enough to make it its own identity.
That's cool.
In fact, I'm gonna say out here, y'all who love Hollow Knight need to get on this game because this is like the second coming of it, in my opinion. It's 2D drawn, it's punishing, you have to collect your body and stuff, except this is parry based, and oh my god, the parries feel so good.
Nice.
As I was saying with builds before, you can do things like, you get different styles of like counter attacks as well. Like you can have one where you can hold down the button where you get it off and you can control when it explodes. You can have one where if you apply it to someone after getting parries, you can move around and it will explode at a set pace. And you can get jades that complement those kinds of like styles as well. You can have glass cannon builds, you can have regen builds, you can have money builds for the early game.
Gosh.
And also this game has what do they call again? Those like red attacks in Sekiro.
Yeah.
Where you get the kanji, it goes ping, which are unblockables. You get unblockables in this game too. And the unblockables come in, but it's in a 2D space, so it makes you wonder, how is that Sekiro like combat gonna work in a 2D game?
Yeah,
it works really, really fucking well.
Oh, nice.
Like in Sekiro, if someone is about to do a red dangerous attack, perilous attack, I think it's called, where you cannot parry it, there's a move where you can jump and parry, and it counts as, and it feels similar to like the jump over sweep attacks in Sekiro. And later you'll get moves where you get like grounded kind of like options where you get like unblockable attacks that come towards you. And this game's really rewarding too. The pacing on how it rewards you is really fucking good.
Oh,
like,
nice.
You never feel like you're not being rewarded at the same time. It feels really good to navigate across the levels as well. Each level is like a tower punky kind of like I said before, like it's visceral, it's
I can see the art style here. It looks actually really interesting.
It's gritty. It's got a really gritty art style, which you wouldn't think so looking at that cover.
Nah. It actually looks really interesting, yeah.
It's really good. It's insanely good. And the music's really awesome and atmospheric as well. It really delves into its like tower stuff. It's got legit good lore as well. I'm really interested in it. The world building is insanely good as well. Basically, it has like the whole ancient gods and practices around religion stuff, but it's all that 1,000 years in the future where technology is a thing. But obviously, technology is a thing. The story is about you play as a guy who got his ass whooped, right?
Oh right, yeah.
But he's been regenerated, and it's a revenge story.
Oh, you love a good revenge story as well.
It's a really good revenge story as well. I love me some revenge stories, man. I love all that like early 2000s, like is it right or to kill the monsters, or are you gonna be like the monsters yourself? It absolutely goes into that, which is really cool. Yeah, the main character Yi is a really good main character. He's a very good revenge protagonist because not only does he show no fucking mercy to the big bosses that you've got to kill. He has legit good arguments for when they're like, oh, we're just doing this because it's for the good of the world. And he's like, nah, this is fucking dumb. Don't do this. This is shit. And when you go back to the hub and you hang out with your mates, he's legit a good guy. And he talks about, like, he's not like, oh, this is useless. Don't talk to me about this useless crap. He's definitely like... He's got an edge to him. Absolutely, he does. Like, bad shit's happened. And he's definitely, like, angry and grim. But... he's a good mate to his mates.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Like, there are times where he'll actually, like, talk about the past and hang out with drinks with certain characters as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, he's not so above it all. Like, he's got a motive, and he's gonna put it through in extreme violent fashion. But he will still shoot the shit, which is really cool. And you'll build up your home as well as you find more stuff. You find more characters that hang out at your pavilion. Yeah. And you'll unlock more facilities for it as well. And you'll unlock more moves for navigation. So obviously it's got the metroidvania thing.
Oh, yeah. And you
return to old areas and explore more shit and get more.
It's very hard to innovate in the metroidvania space now because there's so many metroidvanias out there.
This one stands out just with the parry system alone.
Yeah, that sounds quite innovative, actually.
It's a really refined system, and that combined with the art style and the story. I love me a good revenge story. It's fucking solid, man. It's a really good game. You guys in the Discord were absolutely right that I would like it. It's a lot of people's game of the year 2024, and I can see why. Honestly, I think I'm like midway through it. Yeah, I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast.
Nice, man.
I've been humbled by it a lot as well. There have been some times where I've got through some encounters by the skin of my teeth. But there have been some encounters I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting like my arse whipped. I really need to get a download in. And a download is absolutely a thing in this game. There are movesets you gotta learn. There are patterns that bosses use that you need to parry, that you need to avoid, that you need to do jumping parries on. It's fucking great. It's a really good game. I highly recommend it to you, Ben, because you love Metroidvanias.
Yeah, I do love Metroidvanias, yeah.
You'd like it a lot. It's a really good game.
Oh, man, I'll have to check it out at some point, yeah.
Yeah, if anyone likes Metroidvania games, this is a big recommend, man. It's really good. Man. If you like Sekiro, it's a big recommend. The parry system is great. It's awesome.
Works in 2D.
It does. And these are guys who came off of a psychological horror video game, and it shows in a lot of sections.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I think it's only a small team as well, like only like 12 people, I think.
Man, these indies these days, they just really are just running. They're running the show, aren't they now?
Incredible. Really fantastic game. I love it. Yeah, go buy it. It's an amazing game.
Nice. Support the indies. Get cool little indie games because they're always actually probably better now than the AA side of things.
Yeah. 9 Souls is a fantastic game. Go buy it.
Nice. I feel like that's kind of it for me, really, on terms of my playing stuff. What about you?
Yeah, me too, mate.
All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to the questions in part 4. Catch you then.
Let's do this thing.